J. Cole said it best. Keep grinding, boy. Your life can change in 1 year. Jaylen Brown just found that out. Just 1 year ago, Jaylen Brown had 8 turnovers in a Game 7, a chance to go to the NBA Finals, a game where Jason Tatum rolled his ankle, the Celtics needed him, and he had one of the worst games of his playoff career. Fast forward a year later, the man averages 30 points in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Celtics sweep the series, he wins Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and now they are back in the NBA Finals. In this video, we're going to break down every shot that Jaylen Brown made in this series against the Pacers. We got a lot of shots to go through, so be sure to tune in, leave a like, subscribe, and let's go ahead and dive into the film. Crazy conference finals from Jaylen Brown, really both sides of the basketball, but we got 45 made shots to go through. And we're going to start here. Game 1, fast break opportunity. JT gets it, finds Jaylen Brown, fast break dunk. A lot of fast break buckets will be found in this video for sure. Going to be another fast break opportunity. A lot of that was because the Pacers play at such a high tempo, and because of that, they turn the ball over a pretty decent amount in this series every game. And Jaylen Brown's one of the best fast break players in the NBA. I think he was like top of the list when it came to fast break points per game. Derek White's going to create a steal right there. Tatum again on the break, finds Jaylen Brown, and a nice finish on the inside. Nice set play here to get Jaylen Brown the basketball. We see him being guarded by Toppin over here. Lou Cornett going to set a screen, trying to get the switch right here, but Jaylen Brown catches it confidently on the wing. Going to see him drive hard, pump fake, little double pump there, step through move, nice finish. Here's some screen-to-screener action. Al Horford's just screened for Pritchard. He's rolling. We're going to see Jaylen Brown set a slip screen here. They want to get the switch with TJ McConnell, which they are going to get. And then he just attacks that mismatch, which he was doing a lot this series because outside of Aaron Nesmith, not really a lot of bodies on the Pacers can match Jaylen Brown's physicality. And Nesmith was tasked a lot with guarding Jason Tatum. So Jaylen Brown got a lot of opportunities in this series. Just bag work here. He was able to get anywhere in the court that he wanted to in this series. Nice finish with the left hand. So Jaylen Brown down here in the corner. Another action with Cornett setting the screen on top and to try and get this switch with Miles Turner. And what I really like, Toppin did a really good job here finding through the screen, but Jaylen Brown attacking mid-range and in. Well, he's such a good player when he plays that way instead of taking a lot of threes, even though he can make the three-point shot. Attacking mid-range and in is something that, he's been very successful at in this postseason run for sure. Another isolation up top, a mismatch, I would say, in Andrew Nembhard, even though he's a good defender, but just giving up so much height to Jaylen Brown. Brown just backs him down, gets into his mid-range bag again, shoots over the top. Pretty easy shot for him. Now some more semi-transition work. Just attacking the switch of Miles Turner, and he was killing him with that step-through move really in this entire series. That's a tough shot. This was the big play of the series, this three-point shot that sent it to overtime. What a masterful play from Joe Mazzulla. Jaylen Brown's going to act like he's going to set the screen for Derek White, and then instead he's going to wrap around, go to the corner. Derek White's going to set the screen. The goal is to get TJ McConnell switch on the Jaylen Brown. That is the goal right there. But Indiana elects, look, we're not going to switch it because that would be an easier shot, really no contest with TJ McConnell switching. So we're not going to switch. So Pascal Siakam is going to have to run around this Derek White screen and have a pretty decent closeout. We're going to play slip screen and then the screen there. Long closeout ball's already halfway to Jaylen Brown in the corner. And when he catches it, he's facing the basket already. So Pascal can't foul, which was what the goal was, and then Jaylen Brown's able to hit the three. The theme of the series for Jaylen Brown, like I mentioned earlier, was just attacking these switches, attacking these lesser matchups. He gets Tyrese Halliburton switched on him, and then he's just like, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to get to the basket. He can't stop me from getting to the basket. Miles Turner has to respect Al Horford on the perimeter too. So he's just not able to really have any rim protection. You have Andrew Nembhard coming over, but that's not affecting Jaylen Brown's shot. The best time to put up threes is off of offensive rebounds. Jason Tatum missed a couple layups inside, but good fight for the rebound. Drew Holiday gets it, kicks it out. Jaylen Brown wide open three. Simple stuff. Some semi-transition work. We got JB on the wing. He's just going to slowly cut back door. Nobody picks him up. Easy dunk. This play is just wanting it more, just fighting for the offensive rebound. Going to see here, slips by Nesmith, and then puts up the little floater in the lane, bucket. I should have mentioned that this is also game 2 now. This was Jaylen Brown's 40-point game. But here, they want to try and get the switch with Derek White. Jaylen Brown's going to just, wave off the screen. Just kind of notices, like, okay, this is a favorable matchup still. This is Obi Toppin. I can get to whatever spot I want and get whatever shot I want. Taking advantage of just bad defense from the Pacers. Miles Turner has to be spaced out because Al Horford is running the wings. Already a smaller matchup with Andrew Nembhard guarding Jaylen Brown. But just nobody picks him up on the back cut. Like, this is as easy as it gets. One of the easier baskets that you could ask for. More transition work. We'll just let this play out. Brown gets the rebound. And just nobody really stopped the basketball. Like, nobody stops the ball. Jaylen Brown, one of the best transition players in the league for a reason. A very patient possession here from Jaylen Brown. Sam Hauser's going to come up, try and set the screen on this side. They want to get Halliburton to switch onto Jaylen Brown. And then they flip the screen to the other side. Jaylen Brown quickly makes the move as soon as the screen is flipped. And then Halliburton has a long switch and just provides no deterrence at all. And then a tough finish over Isaiah Jackson from Jaylen Brown. More fast break work, but man, this pass from Jrue Holiday, if that was to Jaylen Brown, that is a crazy pass. Like, we got to run that back. I mean, the finish was cool, but this pass from Jrue Holiday is actually, that's the highlight right there. One-handed, left-hand touch pass. If that was intended for Jaylen Brown, that's a crazy pass. Quick decision-making, catch, jab one way, pull-up jump shot. Like, that is just cone work. That's off-season drills right there. In this third quarter, JB was definitely feeling it. But anytime we saw him in this game get matched up with Andrew Nembhard, he made it his priority to try and at least get into his mid-range game, his turnaround jump shot game. Does it here, catches it, Nembhard a little out of position. Still really good defense, but I mean, you know, Nembhard being like 6'2", JB's being 6'7", jumps high on his mid-range shot, doesn't really see that contest at all. So what makes JB a very deadly scorer when he's really going is his ability to catch and shoot. Like, he's pretty much had that, you know, since maybe like a year or two. He's been a solid catch and shoot guy. And Jason Tatum is one of the best at getting to the rim. You know, really underrated asset of his game when he decides to do it. And then just look at all the bodies that have to commit to Tatum. Brissett being in the game automatically makes Miles Turner clog the lane. Derek White cutting through removes T.J. McConnell from being a potential guy to help out. So, I mean, Jaylen Brown's wide open, and that is a long run out from Miles Turner. Does not affect the shot at all. More transition work. He's just going to get the steal, and, I mean, pretty simple stuff. I think this ends up being an and one, too. Yeah, just a bad foul from Siakam, but JB in transition is tough. This isn't even really a transition play. Once again, bad defense from the Pacers, but Boston matching the tempo that Indiana wanted to play with. Like, Boston was more than comfortable playing this way. And like I said, attacking Nembhard, the smaller guy, smaller defender, he's going to attack him every time. I think this was to get his 40th point. I mean, look, it's garbage time basically, but, you know, sidestep 3, we didn't see a lot of this in this series. So as I was editing this video, I realized that the recording stopped for some reason at this play. Very frustrating, but I promise you guys, Jaylen Brown made this shot. In attack mode the entire series. Now we're in game 3, and this is right off the jump ball. Attacking, not even a transition, just off the jump ball. Relentlessly getting to the basket. It's tough when you don't really have a lot of elite perimeter defenders to guard the Jays, because even if you have a good shot blocker in Miles Turner, whether it's Al Horford, whether it's Kristaps Porzingis when he's playing, this lane is going to be open. There's going to be a lot of space there because you have to commit to Horford. You have to commit to Porzingis. And Jaylen Brown, when he's getting to the basket and he's in attack mode like this, tough to guard. Like, that's why the finals are going to be so interesting, man, because Lively, Gafford, those guys are going to have to be on the perimeter a lot more unless you switch matchups up a little bit. But if not, there's going to be a lot of space in that lane for Brown, Tatum, Jrue Holiday, Derek White to really drive the basketball. Indiana's downfall in this series was, 1, closing games, but 2, just taking care of the basketball. Like, they were not able to do that, and Boston was taking advantage of these transition opportunities because Brown likes to run. He likes to run. He likes to, you know, put pressure on teams in fast break situations. Now we got JB matched up with Obi Toppin again, and we saw in game 2, like, he had no problem, you know, attacking this matchup. Game 1 as well. Really all series. Let's just say that. But got him in the air a little bit with the pump fake. Gets inside. Nice finish. No shot blocking in the paint. Common theme, Andrew Nembhard matchup with Jaylen Brown. And the theme is what we said earlier in the video. If he's matched up with Jaylen Brown is going into the mid-range game. He's in attack mode. He's getting into the mid-range game where he can elevate, shoot over Nembhard. That's great defense, but, I mean, you can't ask Nembhard to do any more than that. I believe LeBron said it, but you don't want to get into a closeout game with the Boston Celtics. And when I say closeout game, I mean you're trying to run shooters off the line. Like, you don't want to get into that game because they will swing the basketball and somebody will be open that can knock down a shot. Here, Drew Holiday caught up in the air, kick out to Al Horford, who's open. Nesmith, who's guarding Tatum, has to rotate over, and then Nembhard is going to have to rotate over. So these guys are rotating, and then Jaylen Brown's going to catch it, and then Miles Turner does not really want to commit to the rotate right away. So then you're just going to get a wide open three. Drive in, great dribble drive there by Jason Tatum. That's the name of the Celtics game. Little flex screen here. Jaylen Brown's going to come off of it, and then he's going to get the switch with Miles Turner, which is what he wants. And then the shot blocker's not in the paint because he's guarding Jaylen Brown. And, all you have to do is get a step. There's no extra shot blocking inside. And he was finishing with his left hand like crazy in this series because it seemed like Indiana was comfortable forcing them left, but he was making them pay. Jaylen Brown created this fast break opportunity by himself, basically, in the gap, playing help defense, forcing TJ McConnell to kick it out. And then what a wicked close out there. Got the block shot, and then running out on the break. Again, good defense from Nembhard, but a nice finish with the left. Getting Miles Turner back in the action. We're going to see Drew Holiday, dribble handoff action. And then Turner already a step out of position. Jaylen Brown, full head of steam going down the lane. And then putting the shot blocker in the rim. That's tough. Again, Nembhard matched up with Jaylen Brown. We know he wants to get into the mid-post in the game. Good pass by Drew Holiday. Good rotate by Miles Turner. But then Jaylen Brown, he loves this matchup even more because he was giving Miles Turner everything he was looking for. Here, Jaylen Brown has it. Going to get the screen from Tatum, come off the screen. And a rare situation where we see Aaron Nesmith guarding Jaylen Brown. But the main thing I want to focus on here, we know Jaylen Brown would prefer to go right, obviously. But Al Horford spacing out to the corner. He just hit 7 threes last game. Miles Turner doesn't even have a foot in the lane. So with Al Horford being spaced out, Miles Turner kind of has to commit a little bit, and that just gives Jaylen Brown all the room possible to drive to the lane. You got to respect Derek White as a shooter. You got to respect Drew Holiday as a shooter. That's what makes the Celtics so tough to guard. They got 5 shooters on the court at all times, and Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum thrive at getting to the basket. Another transition opportunity, and Miles Turner being cross-matched here with Derek White just lets Jaylen Brown know there's not going to be nobody at the rim, so all I got to do is get there. And another matchup with Nesmith. Nesmith doesn't provide much ball pressure. Finish at the rim. Like we said earlier, the biggest issue in this series, other than closing games, was turnovers, and it seemed like every time they turned the ball over, Boston was taking advantage, and Jaylen Brown more specifically. Jaylen Brown here running to the corner, and another cross-match situation, Miles Turner guarding him. And just the patience here. Like, he just knows with Miles Turner guarding him, I can get any shot that I want. He's going to be on his toes too much, and, just a knockdown 3 there. We got JB here guarded by Nembhard, and one thing we know, if Nembhard's guarding Jaylen Brown, he's trying to get into at least the mid-post to get some work done. One of the few times that we see him get all the way to the basket, though, with Nembhard guarding him. Jaylen Brown's going to end up getting a layup on this possession, but it was all created from him cutting backdoor. We see Nesmith guarding him, so anytime Nesmith is guarding him, we know Jaylen Brown's trying to play mid-range and in. Going to see the cut backdoor. Nesmith recognizes it. He's the help side defender. He's rotating over. Jason Tatum going to the corner. And then just look at the overreaction as soon as JT catches the ball in the corner. McConnell rotating over. Nembhard leaving to go guard Derek White. And Nesmith did not get the memo that they probably should have just switched it. He runs out to Jason Tatum. And Jaylen Brown just being in the right place at the right time. One of the easier baskets that he had in this series. There's an emphasis for JB to attack the smaller defenders in his playoff run. Did it against Miami, did it against Cleveland, and definitely did it against the Pacers too. Here, Horford, they're just trying to get the switch to get Nembhard back on Jaylen Brown again. Because this matchup with switches possession, Nembhard jumps out, guarding him, and it's like, okay, let's go ahead, get into the paint. Another lefty finish. Nothing too crazy here. This is a 2-for-1 situation. Jaylen Brown just rising up over Nembhard. Like we said, Nembhard, really good defender, but just cannot match the height of Jaylen Brown. So that contest doesn't really even do much. He's not seeing anything there. Patient scorer. We see all the eyes that have to be committed to Jason Tatum. He already has Siakam on him. Obi Toppin has to respect that. And then Nembhard looking at the ball too. And that leaves, obviously, if there's 3 defenders looking at one guy, you got Jaylen Brown up top. You got Sam Hauser up top as well, who's wide open. Didn't really have a good series, but we see McConnell rotate over. It's going to leave Jaylen Brown wide open, and that is a long, long, long closeout. JB patient, pump fake, sidestep 3, knockdown shot. That's confidence right there. Transition opportunity, we see up top Jaylen Brown. He's sprinting. Miles Turner does a good job of getting back to kind of cut off the back door. But then runs to the corner, and JB loves this matchup. He's getting anything he wanted against Miles Turner. And then to close out his last bucket of the series, I just want y'all to watch this bag work. I'm not even going to say anything else. Nah, I got to say something, man. That is tough. That is tough. He caught the ball, Obi topping on him. He's like, all right. About to mix him up real quick. And these plays don't even include the big block that he had on Nembhard, which, would have gave Indiana, I think, a 2-point lead. And then to come down, make the play to get Derek White the wide open three. Like, Jaylen Brown in this series was incredible. This was the best playoff series that I've ever seen him play, and really the best stretch of basketball I think I've seen him play.